Are you like me, eager to get out into the garden and get things growing, but you still live in an area that's a winter wonderland and promises to be for the next several weeks? Then today's video is for you. We're going to discuss some things that you can be doing right now in your garden to get ready for spring. Hello, my name is Lynette, and welcome to the garden. The most obvious thing that you can do this time of year to get a jump start for spring is to start some seeds. Now, I've got plant catalogs here, I've got a Johnny's seed catalog, I've got Select Seeds, and I have my all-time favorite perennial seed catalog, Eulitos. And if you want to know why I think Eulitos is so special, I did a video on that, so please watch that. I'm working on my seed orders right now, and that's because I still have almost a full month before I can even start seeds. My frost date is almost the end of May. Last year we had a frost just around Memorial Day. So if you count back 12 weeks from Memorial Day, you're looking at starting seeds in March. So I still have some time to do some ordering. If you haven't ordered your seeds yet and you are in a warmer climate, get on this. Get your seeds ordered. Now, if I wanted to, I could start seeds outside. Yes, even in this cold weather, I could do what's called winter sowing. And the way I do that is I use this water container, or you could use a milk jug. You're going to cut it in half, poke some holes in the bottom, remove the lid. You're going to open this up, fill this portion with your potting soil. Don't use seed starting mix. Use a regular potting soil. And you want to make sure it's moist, just like if you were normally starting seeds. Then you're going to put your seeds in here, cover them up just as it does in the package instructions. You're going to tape this back together, write what kind of seeds are on here, and probably put a marker inside that tells you what kind of seeds are in there. You're going to put this outside, yes, in the cold. Even my weather, I would put this out in the cold. And this is going to act as a little greenhouse. It's going to allow those seeds a little bit of extra warmth to get going earlier in the season. Now, as it warms up, you're going to want to check to make sure that it is getting enough water, and you can peek down in there and see if your little seedlings are germinating. Eventually, you're going to peel the top part back, let them harden off, and then you can either divide them and put them into separate pots, or you could divide them up and put them right into the garden. Now, what kind of plants or what kind of seeds would work well with this? Perennial seeds work excellent, especially those that need a cold treatment. So things like columbine, delphinium, or lupins would be fantastic to start with this method. Now, once your container is full, you're going to find someplace outside, yes, outside in the cold. And you're going to want to put it someplace where it's going to get rain, it's going to get snow, and even if it gets piled with snow, that's going to be okay. You just want to put it someplace protected where it's not going to get tipped over or blown away by the wind. This is just going to speed up the natural process that Mother Nature is doing. This is going to act as a little teeny tiny greenhouse. Now, I don't like to admit this, but I don't always have the greatest success with winter sowing. My preferred method of starting seeds is to put them under grow lights down in my basement. Now, growing from seed is very rewarding, and for the price per seed, it can be very economical. But if you are just starting out, especially if you have grandiose plans of growing hundreds of seedlings and you're envisioning layers and layers of trays on a stand, that can be rather expensive. So if you're just starting out, I suggest you start small and try and recycle things that you have around the house. You don't have to have those fancy seed containers to get the seeds growing. Instead, look for things that you might already have around the house. This is a Denny's container. You could even use a rotisserie chicken container. It's basically the same thing. You've got your base, poke a couple holes in there so any excess water can drain out. You're going to fill this with pre-moistened seed starting mix. Then you're going to plant your seeds according to the instructions on the packet. You close this up. You're going to put it underneath your lights, and your lights stay on for 16 hours and they go off after 8 hours. This is going to act as your humidity dome. As the humidity builds in this container, it's going to start breaking down the seed coat, which is going to allow that seed to germinate. Once the seeds start to germinate, you want to start cracking the lid a little bit at a time. If you take the lid totally off, it might stress your seeds because they're going from something totally very humid to something not so much. So I find that by cracking it a little bit every day, it kind of acclimates those seeds to the different humidity level. Depending on how close together you planted your seeds, you may find you need to further divide them out, or if you've spaced them out very well, you may find that come spring, once you harden them off outside, you may be able to just break the roots apart and plant them directly into the ground or the pots, depending on where you plan on planting them. But starting plants from seed can be very economical, but at the same time, the initial setup can be expensive. If you're interested in learning some ways that you can make plant stands using things that you have around your house, last year when I did some coleus cuttings, I also did a video on how to create affordable plant stands. So be sure to check that video out and see if any of those methods will work for you. Number 2 on our list is to tackle our houseplants. Now is the perfect time to get in there and start dividing them, or even taking some cuttings if you want to give propagation a try. If you're in a warmer area, you may find that the stores are starting to bring in some of those cute little tropical houseplants. Now, while you can't put them outside yet, you can put together cute little pots that you can scatter around your house and then later move them outside when the weather is warm. Another thing to look for are elephant ears. They're a great big bulb. They're tropical, so they need a lot of heat to get going. I find that I can start them in my house this time of year, and then when I go to put them outside after the frost is done, I can have elephant ears that are about a foot tall. So consider starting some elephant ears if you can get a hold of them. And if you want to know how I started them, I did a video on that, and you can watch that as well. During these cold and snowy days, taking a look at your pots and evaluating them is a great way to get that jump start on your spring garden. Do you need to replace them? Do you need to buy more of them? Going out and doing a little bit of shopping now will get you that much further ahead come spring. I consider pots a major investment in the garden, and that's because in my situation, I have several that I want them all to be the same. So I have 3 pots in the front of my garage. They're exactly the same pots. The pots around my patio are all the same kind of pots. And in total, I have about 30 great big huge flower pots that I fill with annuals every year. Now, I do buy cheaper pots, and that's because I feel that some of the expensive pots wouldn't even last 1 year in my garden. And if you'd like to learn more about the kind of pots that I prefer, I've got a video that I did on that, and you may find that helpful, especially if you live in a climate like I do. Now, some of you may be saying, she's got 30 large pots on her property. How on earth does she maintain those? Does she have help? Does she have an underground watering system? Or does she spend all of her time watering pots? Well, the truth of the matter is that I have self-watering pots, but I didn't buy them, I made them. And the way it works is I have a plastic pot without a hole in it. I put a layer of plastic, a sheet of plastic goes down here, a very rigid sheet of plastic, so that the pot is separated. There's water down here, and then the soil goes in the top. I plant my plants here. I water from the top. The water will go down through the soil, and it will collect down here in the bottom of the pot. And then I put a drainage hole so that the plants can never drown. The pot will never fill all the way up with soil. Now, this is an excellent thing. If you would be interested in learning how I make my self-watering pots, there's a video you can watch, and making your own self-watering pots is an excellent activity this time of year, and it will get you so far ahead for the spring because you'll be able to just start putting your plants right in there, and then it's going to save you tons of time throughout the summer because realistically, I water maybe once a week, and during the hottest part of the summer, twice a week. So it's a money saver and it's a game changer for my garden. So make yourself some self-watering pots. Now, some people may find that this is the perfect time of year to actually start doing some designing and thinking about where things are laid out in your garden. And I'm planning on doing a little video on how I created my mixed borders and some of the principles that I use when I do that. If you think you would find that interesting, please be sure to share, like, and subscribe so you'll get notified when that next video gets posted. My final suggestion for getting ready for spring this time of year is to go shopping. We went to Lowe's the other day, and I was amazed at the products that they had marked down on clearance. Things that you're going to need in your garden come spring and come summer. They had things like deer proof, deer away, marked 50% off. If you have deer, my gosh, that's a huge saving. If you know a bottle of concentrate is $38 and it was marked down to $10, that's a huge savings. And you're going to use that all throughout the summer. Or in my case, using it right now on my arborvitae hedge. But they had other things. They had grow lights on sale. They had ceramic pots on sale. They had some fertilizer on sale. Hose reel. Goodness, I can't remember what it was. They had bug zappers on the clearance rack. They had a pond pump, a great buy on a pond pump. And they even had snake repellent. So if you need snake repellent, it's on sale. So I guess my point is there are bargains to be had out there. You just need to go out and look for them. And personally, I would much rather save money on product and spend more money on my plants. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I'd say get out in your garden and have some fun, but since most of the country is under this Arctic blast right now, all I can do is say stay warm and stay safe, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.